So guys, today back on a video on the channel today. We're here after Newcastle United versus Spurs player ratings. A really good performance today, and the player ratings are going to be a little bit more positive than usual. There's still going to be a couple of low ones, some high ones, so we'll get into the player ratings now. Make sure to leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 10k subs, as you all know, and if you could subscribe, it would mean a lot. Rant, reaction, whatever you want to call it, in the I button, link in the description and on the outro, so if you want to go and watch that video after this one, make sure to do so. Anyways boys, let's get into my player ratings now. We're going to start off with the goalkeeper, Martin Dubravka. Martin today, as we all know, he had a good international duty and then got his stomach injury, whatever you want to call it, and he didn't play for the last game of the international duty. Fine today. He didn't really put a foot wrong, to be honest with you, as he didn't have to make a clear cut save, a really good save, but the 2 goals he conceded, could he do better with any of them? I don't think so. I think it was a decent performance from Martin Dubravka. I'm going to go a 6 out of 10. And we played a 5 back today, which it did work, surprisingly. I didn't know if that was because of the way Spurs played, and I think that's the way it was. I think it performed a lot more because of how Spurs played. So that meant right wing back was Jacob Murphy. He was okay, to be honest with you. He did perform quite well. There was glimpses of where he showed his talent, where he could run down the wing and really use his pace. But obviously he is a winger. He's not a wing back, and defensively he wasn't great, tracking back and marking his man. But I think he done extremely well with Reguilón, considering the money that Spurs paid for him. He handled him really well, in my opinion. So I can only praise Jacob Murphy after today's performance, and he deserves to start against Burnley next week. I think it's a good 7 out of 10 performance from Jacob Murphy. We will do the centre backs now. We'll go from right to left. So we'll start off with the right centre back, which was Emil Kraft. Both of the goals were his fault. Marking his men, tracking his man, and it was disappointing to see that from Emil Kraft. He went on a little good run in the first half, won us a corner, I remember, but overall he wasn't great. And it annoys us because we've got Kieran Clark sitting on the bench whilst Emil Kraft's playing in centre back. That's the most annoying thing, in my opinion. I wouldn't be in his arse and critical about his performance if we didn't have another centre back, but the facts are we've got Clark sitting on the bench and Federico Fernandez at home fully fit. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing that I'm getting. It's a bit weird, but I think Emil Kraft, he wasn't great. He wasn't absolutely shocking. I've seen much more worse performances from him, but he wasn't great today whatsoever. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. The central centre back now, we'll go with Jamal Lascelles. Overall okay. I mean, he handled Harry Kane the best that he could. I mean, obviously he scored 2 goals, but apart from that he didn't really create any other chances apart from the chance that he hit the post. And I think Jamal Lascelles was okay. I mean, he could have done a little bit better with the 2 goals. I think every defender, the whole team could have done better with the 2 goals. It's moments where we switched off and just let them go forward. But for me, Jamal Lascelles, he was fine. He done what he needed to do. We've got a point and now we can build off it. For me, Jamal Lascelles, a good 6 out of 10. Paul Dummett next. And I remember one thing that he'd done. The goal wouldn't have counted anyways, but Harry Kane was in an offside position, threw on goal, and he made a fantastic tackle, Paul Dummett. And we all know what we're going to get from Paul Dummett, sliding all over the shop. And a good performance. You always get that from Paul Dummett. If it's centre back, left wing back, wherever you want to play Paul Dummett, he'll give you a performance and play for the club. And we're seeing it yet again today. Give him a new contract, lads. Paul Dummett, good performance. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Left wing back now, Matt Ritchie. And I'm not a fan of Matt Ritchie, right? But today he proved me wrong. I thought Matt Ritchie was great today. I'm going to be honest with you, lads. He was great. He huffed and puffed, and he done his job. He done his job today very well, in my opinion. Get him on set pieces, in my opinion, because Shelvey on corners doesn't work. We'll put Ritchie on corners. He's whipping into the box, and he can bring that. If we're relegated or stay up, I think he can still bring something to the team. I think he's about 31 now, but I still think he can bring something to the team. So for me, Matt Ritchie, I can only praise him, and I'm going to give him a good performance. He handled the right hand side of Spurs very well, in Lascelles and Tanganga couldn't do anything on that side, and he was getting up the pitch and back, and I can only praise Matt Ritchie. A good performance today, 7 out of 10. The 2 midfielders now, Jonjo Shelvey and Sean Longstaff. We'll start off with Jonjo Shelvey. We've never actually seen Shelvey and Sean together because there's normally one defensive, one attacking minded, but we've had 2 attacking minded. Shelvey's a little bit more deeper than Sean, but that's why I'm starting with him. Shelvey, I said it in my stream and I said it all season, he's been our worst player this season. And today he wasn't bad. He was one of his better performances this season, to be honest with you lads. Controlled the midfield a little bit more than what he used to do. And I don't know if that was with having support in the 5 at the back or the position JOELINTON was in on that left hand side. I don't know. But he had a good performance today in my opinion, Jonjo Shelvey. He went at the centre back for a bit, which, you know, that's Raj. Jonjo Shelvey got in centre back, but I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. Sean Longstaff next, and it's great to see him because I think he deserves to start more than any player. He hasn't properly played since Sheffield United away, which feels like ages ago, and he came in today, and you know what lads, he was fine. It wasn't like he was terrible or amazing. He went in there and showed Steve Bruce who he is, why he should be starting, and you've got to start him against Burnley. For me, he was absolutely fine in what he'd done. He didn't really make a mistake. I can't remember where Sean Longstaff made a mistake. He had that chance where he put it wide, I think, but that's about it. He was fine. He'd done his job. He came in midfield and he'd done what he needed to do, and fair play to him because I think he did play well, and I can only praise him. Sean Longstaff though, I am going to give him a good rating, 6 out of 10. The attackers now will start off with Miggy. ALMIRON today, he just ran and ran and ran and ran, and we say that every weekend. One thing that he does bring is happiness. When JOELINTON scores, it put a smile on his face because he does care about this football club. We all know that, and we can't get relegated because if we do, we will lose him. And we can't afford to lose him because he's a very critical and crucial player for this team. He was good today. Miggy defensively coming back, committed, getting yellow cards and putting fouls in where he needed to put fouls in. He done what he needed to do in my opinion. Good performance on ALMIRON. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 as well. Then, this is the player who I want to speak about. It's going to be, I don't know how long it's going to be speaking about him though. JOELINTON. JOELINTON today was brilliant. Best player, man of the match. Really, really good performance, and I want to see him get praised. The only negative I can say was that chance in the second half where he controlled it down and just put it wide, and he should have scored that. I am a critical fan. He should have scored that, but that miss doesn't overtake in everything about his performance. And it's not just because he scored. It's not just because he scored. He worked his socks off today, and you're seeing it in him. He wanted to do well. He got his opportunity, and for me, he took it. Involved in the second goal, scored the first goal, and he was creating chances. He had that chance in the second minute, and he really got going. And it was so unlucky because we conceded straight after he scored, and it just goes down like that. And for us to bounce back, and he did help, and it was a really good performance from JOELINTON today, and he is definitely my man of the match without doubt. JOELINTON today, 8 out of 10. And finally for the start level, you've got Dwight GAYLE, who started up front. A golden opportunity for Dwight GAYLE in the first half. He could have put us 1-0 up. A brilliant save from Lovries, and he's got to score that rebound, and he just doesn't. Put it at Lovries. It's a great save from him to get the rebound, but you've got to score that in my opinion. If you're a striker wanting a new deal at Newcastle, you've got to finish them chances, and he didn't today. Would have Wilson finished that? I think he would have scored the header, but you live and learn, you live and learn. He's obviously, well, hopefully Wilson's going to be back for Burnley, so that's going to be a bit more positive news for the club. But I think Dwight GAYLE, he wasn't great. He had that miss, and then he had a chance for Miggy, and he just put too much power on the pass. And for the sake of them two chances and key chances in the game, I can't rate them highly today. Dwight GAYLE, 4 out of 10. The substitutes now, I think they all benefited in the game, and with the goal. Starting off with Maximin, it's great to see him back. He's done very well. I can't give any of the substitutes any ratings. I'll just say what I've got to say about their performance. But he was good today, Max. He came on, controlled the attack and ran at defenders, and we've missed that. Massive up to Joe Willock. Massive for him. Arsenal boy, scoring against Tottenham, proving himself at Newcastle. Didn't start today. He'll start next week. He has to over Shelvey, in my opinion. Play him in that deeper role and just give him that process and space to move forward. We do need that. But a good finish today. Crossbar, nearly missed it, but it went in the back of the net. I'm so happy for Joe Willock. And Mankiw came on, should have started. and Dunfine came on, was scored, then he just had to defend until the 94th minute, which we did do. So lads, that's my player ratings. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Trying to hit 10k subs, so if you could subscribe. Trying to hit 10k subs, so if you could subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot. Anyways boys, I'll see you all for the next video. Our next game is Burnley, so it is going to be an interesting game against Burnley, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Anyways boys, I'll see you all for the next video. Have a good one. Newcastle United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2.